Hi guys, today I want to show you what I use to patch rotted wood, big chunks of missing wood in furniture, anything where you've got a gouge or a big spot missing in wood. This is actually what I would recommend to repair that. Wood filler is great, but this stuff dries super fast, like 15 to 30 minutes fast. You can patch large areas of it and it'll even dry that quickly. And you can get your repairs done much better. Wood filler is good for small little areas or anything that you want to stain. And this isn't going to stain like wood filler, but this is a painted area, so I'm going to go ahead and use this. If you are staining wood, it's possible, I mean, I wouldn't do this with antiques, of course, but it's possible that you could fill in big gouge or large areas with this and then do a skim coat of your wood filler. I'm not going to guarantee that that's going to look perfect, but if you're desperate and you've got a big area, you could always try that. Also, I did, for this area of rotten wood, I did use wood as much as I could. So now I'm just filling in on both sides the area that I couldn't use the wood for. And that'll just give me a nice surface to cling to and uses less of this Bondo. Okay, what you want to be careful about is this product has a pretty strong smell. It produces a lot of vapors, and it says that its vapors are even flammable, so you got to be careful with something like that. I always work with this with the garage door open outside. I don't think I would use it inside without wearing a mask and having windows open. So it's that strong. It's kind of like plumber's putty if you've ever worked with that, the strength of the smell. Also, I always wear gloves with this. I use these paddles to spread everything around, so it probably doesn't touch my gloves all that often. But just to be safe, I do wear gloves, so you'll want to do that. So open it up. It's like a paint can. What you've got inside is like this gray ooze or goo. It has to be mixed with this hardening cream that comes with it. That's what's actually going to harden it up, and you've got about 5 minutes once you've mixed it to get it in place. It's going to start hardening that quickly. So let me show you how it works. Typically, so these are Bondo paddles, spatulas, or I'm not sure what they call them, but you can buy them where you buy this Bondo All Purpose Putty. So I just put the little guy in, and for this project, since I need so much, I just scoop out a large amount. Sometimes you just need a little bit, so you're just going to have to base it on your needs and play around with it, and what you can use in 5 minutes, of course. So you don't want to mix the whole can because you'll never, or typically wouldn't be able to use that in 5 minutes. And the hardener is weird. When you read the instructions on the side of the can, it talks about inches, and you just kind of eyeball how much hardener you think you need. I haven't ever had it not harden, so I don't think it's something that has to be completely perfectly mixed. So for this amount of area, I'll just squirt on maybe that much. See, it's not very scientific, you know, I don't think it could fail, but and I just use this little spatula again to kind of get that mixed in there. On the container it says to mix this for 2 minutes before you use it, but I probably only actually mix it for about 20 seconds because I am impatient. All right, that's good for me. And I'm just going to use this as a tool to press it down into all these cracks. I want to get this nice and solid surface because these are exterior shutters that got dry rot somehow. I'm in Houston, so it's pretty humid here. I think some moisture traveled up through a screw that was in the bottom of these and just got trapped. least that's my guess. We'll see. But this stuff can't be, it's not the easiest to work with for like carving or making perfect smooth areas with these spatulas at least. So I just go for filling in the surface, and I'm going to sand it. It sands normally, just like wood filler would. So I'll use my little DeWalt finish sander to clean this up after I'm done in about 20 or 30 minutes, like I said before. I'll sand this smooth and see what I need to do after that, if I need to use more wood filler. Now, if you can tell, I'm really pushing this in. I want this to still be a solid piece of, a solid shutter. You know, I don't want it to have hollow spots, just in case that becomes an issue later. And I want it to have the strength that it's got already, or had before. So, I'm just guessing at, it's starting to stiffen up if you can't tell by the video. I'm just trying to make it so I don't have to do another pass with this. So I'm making it a little bit higher than where I think the surface is, and I'll just sand it smooth. Okay, just so you know, with these petals, I've had these for a year. I've used them on a lot of projects. It's really easy to clean this off once it dries. I just use something like this metal blade, this putty knife, and clean it all off, and it scrapes off pretty quickly. Now, back to the shutter. So I've worked on this one previously. As you can see, there's still little dips in it after I sanded, and again, I just used my regular sander. I think this is 80 grit sandpaper here. So there's still little dips in here. I do want it to be smooth. So in this case, when it's not that big of a deal and it's not a huge amount of area, I don't know if I'm gonna mix Bondo again just to do this, because the Bondo starts hardening up and it's a little hard, as you can see, to get it smooth. So in this case, once it gets to this level, I might just use wood filler here. And let that dry nice and smooth and do a nice sanding. Wood filler is usually my way to fill in the tiny little dips that are left. This is a little bit more than I usually would leave, but at this point I don't want to play around with the Bondo anymore. The wood filler will be quick, and I'll come back out in a few hours and sand that. So, all right, so now all I'm going to do is I'm going to wait 20 to 30 minutes for this to dry, sand it, get it to this same stage, and eventually I'll be able to paint this as normal, and it'll look and act just like real wood. Okay, I hope that helps you guys figure out how to work on your project. Be sure to ask me any questions you've got and follow along on my other videos. Thanks for stopping by.